Hey, it's AP Experiment. Welcome back to Rainbow Six Extraction. I decided I was going to do something I
Abandoned
normally
nests
don't
are
do.
in the
I was
subzone.
going to take
Look
Smoke
for
out
them.
and use this FM9 or FMG9, which is a submachine gun that does about 34 damage, has about 800 bullets per second.
Destroy
I
those
don't
nests.
normally try to use
Get a sample
Smoke
from
just
the
because
mutagen's
I
point of
really do
origin.
not like his gun choices. Um, but I figured out that I really kind of do like this FM9. I mean, it doesn't have much damage output, and that really is kind of my main thing. If you haven't noticed, I like the Martian rifles that do about 69 damage, and and then a lot of the ARs that do about 30, 40 damage.
Smoke is
So,
coming. Drone
so
is at
to
my
move to this, which only has about 34
Get more
damage, is
abandoned
pretty
nests
weird.
out of the way to trigger the
But the
neoplasm.
bullets per second kind of does make up for it. Obviously, like most guns in this game, the recoil is pretty crazy, so I do have to watch it. I was actually getting some of my studies done. I had to get stun kills, which obviously with this gun is a little more difficult. Just because I really, one, am not used to it. Two, I was shooting at rooters, and they basically are bullet sponges sometimes. Spontaneous sludge was no help at all, literally no help at all. It was just causing me so much pain.
How about that sample?
But that's how sludge is. The puddles are aggressive puddles, always going crazy, always going crazy. Like, you gotta love them though. They're adorable when you're not being attacked from behind by a puddle. But yeah, I was kind of just
The
enjoying myself,
parasite ecosystem
doing
should
a
be less
little
of a
free
mystery
roaming,
with
which is
that
not
sample.
really like me. Normally, I'm more focused on like in and out, in and out, in and out. But with the FMG9, it gave me a little bit more of an experience that I don't normally get. I was kind of out of my element. I knew I couldn't really be as aggressive just because I knew that the damage output wasn't really what again, what I normally am used to. So I knew that I had to be a lot more strategic. I had to do a lot more counting as far as bullets go because I knew I wasn't getting nearly as much ammo. But it was actually pretty nice. I was using the stun grenades and the ability that Smoke has, his Z9s, to really effectively get a lot of my study done. This study with the stun was pretty easy. It wasn't like it was difficult. I think it was like 15 kills and stunned enemies, which again isn't difficult, but it's tedious because I don't really like running the stun grenades. They're not really very useful to me anyway. They don't last long enough, and usually, as you can see from this moment right here, I'm fighting enough Archeans that it doesn't really make a difference. Throwing one stun grenade stuns literally one Archean, while I have like 7 or 8 Archeans approaching and rounding corners. So it's like it's not very helpful. But basically, once I got past that first group, I just realized, you know what, I'm just gonna be loud because obviously everything wants to shoot me, everything wants to kill me. We're just gonna keep it going. We're just gonna attack. We're just gonna be aggressive. We're gonna kind of throw the idea of going back into stealth out the window, especially since this is already a sabotage and everything's pretty much gonna come to me. I was trying to still hit these weak points. I'm trying to be cautious. I'm still kind of bullet counting. I'm trying to make sure I hit the puddles because the last thing I needed was the puddles. And while trying to do that, I let the rooter catch me, which was a terrible mistake. Took way too much damage there. Turned around the corner to a different puddle. Killed the puddle and the feral grunt because the feral grunt jumped right into my line of sight. Chef's kiss, gotta love it. But I was taking way too much damage from the spikers. I ended up literally loop-de-looing him. The feral grunt literally bled behind me. So I realized I'm literally right next to I was literally right next to the sabotage. So I decided, screw it, I'm gonna loop back around because going into the airlock when I know that I have a gateway to a protein next was a terrible idea. So it's like, I have 48 health. Let me see if I can find some ammo or maybe an ability recharge, which ended up being an ability recharge. And I was like, I'm just going to start the sabotage. I was hoping that I could use the Z9s to kind of just continually trap them and just kind of kill them off that way, instead of having to really actually shoot bullets at all, unless it was like the spontaneous sludge. It kind of worked out that way. Like, as you'll see, it's like it wasn't crazy, but I kind of just set it up, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna close this door next to me, and I'm basically gonna have them all funnel in from one side, and that should kind of make it a lot easier. Of course, not, you know, really thinking about it, I ended up somewhat trapping myself. But again, I wasn't too concerned because it seemed like they were just basically running directly into the smoke and killing themselves off, which was very, very useful. I went down here and I had forgotten, you know, I'm thinking I'm going to go stasis from, then I remembered that Smoke is actually one of the operators that can bring himself back when you kill Archeans. So the fact that the Archeans were running into the smoke and dying, it basically insta-res me. And had I actually remembered that sooner, I probably would have saved a few of my Z9, just specifically for this moment here, when I'm fighting way too many Archeans and this is already really, really down to like low bar. I started going away from the objective a little bit, hoping to hopefully, you know, distract some of them, but that didn't really seem to work out in my favor, and I ended up failing to sabotage. So I'm like, alright, let's scramble move, let's get to the extraction point, let's not really, you know, die here. And I'm trying to use his ability, I'm trying to kill off enough Achaeans fast enough, and they are really just beating the brakes off me. Those feral grunts, far too aggressive. The looters all in my face. So I used my revive kit just because that was a strategic move there, and I decided, all right, I gotta get out of here. It's been AP experiment. Catch you in the next one.